There we go. All right, welcome everyone here officially to our masterclass, Attraction CPR, how to win back their attention when you feel them pulling away. My name is Heather Choate. I am the co-owner and co-founder of High Thrive Coaching, and I am deeply excited and grateful to have you here with me tonight. Again, it says something really special about you, that you are willing to put in the effort to see what you can do about your relationship to improve things here, even if things feel really challenging right now. I want to share with you not just some great information, but what I hope leads to transformation in your marriage and in your life. So I want to thank you and honor you. You're amazing, and I'm excited to get to know you. And that's what this is really all about. It's about you. And I appreciate the time that you are taking now to spend with me. And hopefully we can find a way to make this an absolute win-win and be able to move you forward. So I always want to make our masterclasses a dialogue, not just a monologue. And I see some familiar faces. So welcome back if you know us. If we've never met yet before, hi, nice to meet you and welcome. And the best way that we can have this be a dialogue, not just a monologue, is if you can use the chat. And I just want you to know that the chat is completely private. Only I and my team here at High Thrive Coaching can see the chat. And so as we go through some exercise together, I want you to share your answers over there, share what kind of situation you're in right now, share any questions that you have. If I say something and you have a big aha moment and you realize, oh my goodness, yeah, I've been making one of those mistakes, or yeah, I realize that what I've been doing really hasn't been working, then celebrate that with us, because awareness is one of the first steps to really making any kind of change that we have in life. So awesome. Thank you guys for doing that. Very good. All right. So we are going to jump right in, and I'm going to cover what we're going to talk about in this masterclass. So in this masterclass, my promise to you is that you'll learn exactly what's going through their mind when they start to put in less effort into your marriage, and 3 simple things that you can do right now to get them trying again. Okay, that's the first step that we want to talk about tonight, is how to get their attention in the right way and how to start to build attraction again, even if things have been really tense or volatile. Now, just a little bit of side note about us. I've been married for 16 years with my husband, Ben, and we have 8 children together. And so I have definitely seen my share of marriage struggles. And I'm going to share with you what I found in my own marriage that works and what doesn't work. And not only that, but here at High Thrive Coaching, we have helped tens of thousands of couples now to save their marriage from divorce and to have a truly thriving relationship, even in the midst of challenges, because challenges come to all of us, right? It's what we choose to do about them. So that is where I'm coming from. And we've been able to prove that with so many marriages that we've saved, what really works and what doesn't. Okay. I'm going to share with you why they maybe haven't recommitted to the marriage yet, and discover the 4 most common reasons and the simple psychology that gets them wanting you again, wanting to be with you, wanting to talk with you again. Sound good? Raise your hand if you guys want that. Okay. That's awesome. This is why you're here. It's going to be great. All right. And the one text, truly the one text that you can send immediately, and it will guarantee that they'll be thinking about you when you're not around. How many here would like that? I can see your guys' hands raised. Let me know in the chat how good that would be for you guys. All right. Awesome. The secret to building their desire to the point where they're the one initiating contact. And this is a must-have if you are exhausted by anxiously checking your phone and you're just trying to figure out, how do I really have my spouse connect with me again and communicate again? And I'm going to share with you, they really mean it when they say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And I'll share with you a simple test to reveal the difference between the 2. Okay. As well as my daily tool for calming the negative thought patterns that can make us self-sabotage and behave in perhaps low-value ways that actually drive someone away, and how you may be making some of these and unintentionally just reacting out of fear or anger or desperation, and how to process through those emotions so you can come into the situation from a calm, centered place and really take back your power and do what actually works instead. All right, awesome. You're saying, I need that. Yes, 2 points, hits the nail on the head. Awesome. That would be great. Yes, me, please. Awesome. Cool. And then I do see some of your questions, and I will do my best to address them as we go. But we do have a large group here tonight. And so if I'm not able to get to them to the end, then that is what we'll do. All right. So raise your hand. I'm going to launch a poll here and let me know, what is your primary problem? Okay. What's going on in your divorce? Sorry, not your divorce, in your marriage right now. And some of you may be dealing with divorce. Some of you may have a spouse that is talking about divorce. Maybe they've already talked to a lawyer. Maybe they're threatening divorce. Maybe they already have papers and dates set. You want to know what to do to stop it and how to get them back for good. Are you couple B? Maybe there's just no trust. Maybe there's an affair going on. Maybe they've had an affair, maybe multiple affairs. Maybe you've had multiple affairs, or there are major trust issues and you want to heal the damage and have trust between you again. Or couple C, dealing with major communication challenges. Are they ignoring you, blocking you? Maybe they won't open up about things. Maybe they're unwilling to talk about the marriage. Maybe everything turns into a fight and there's just a lot of tension, and you want to know how to open up communication, how to have respect, and how to build connection. So thank you. I see a lot of you weighing in on the poll over here. So if everyone wants to do that for a second, just weigh in on what you are going through in your marriage right now. And that will help me know where you're at. And then I can customize what we go into today. And I'll make sure I go deeper into those issues. So thank you guys for weighing in. All right, I'm going to end the poll. So hopefully everyone had a chance to do that. I'm going to share the results. Dun, dun. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right. So 32% of you said divorce filed or talk of divorce. 58% of you said no trust and affairs. And 11% of you talked about communication and challenges with that. So thank you for weighing in and letting me know where you are at. Awesome. All right. So as my gift to you for you guys coming to the masterclass, this training tonight, I want to give you guys a $47 training, our 7 proven conversation starters guide. And like I mentioned, I've been married for 16 years. And there have been times when we weren't sure, like, is this really going to work? Do we really want to stay married? Maybe we're better separated. Maybe it's better for the kids. All of those kind of questions. And my husband tends to be the one that pulls away. So let me know, is your spouse the one that tends to pull away? Raise your hand, let me know. And I tend to be the one that pursues. I push for resolution. I push for conversation. I push to resolve issues. And that is kind of the dynamic that we're in. He tends to be the avoider, withdrawer. I tend to be the pursuer. And when this pattern happens for us, communication just shuts down because he completely withdraws and stonewalls me, right? And it freaks me out because I want to open up communication and get things going. And I found that a lot of the questions that I used to ask him before would only get me like a 1-word answer. And so if your spouse is very closed off right now, if you're unsure of how to have this kind of conversation, then this guide is going to be tremendously valuable for you. And so all you have to do, let me go back to the other slide right here, is just go ahead and click the link here that Diego just posted to everyone, my team member here at High Thrive. And yeah, exactly. 1-word answer, Samuel. Yes, exactly. Yeah. OMG, this is me and mine. Yeah, exactly. So he just posted over there this little Google form. So just go ahead and fill that out and we will text it or email it to you right away. So go ahead and grab that link over there in the chat. If your phone, you should be able to see a little chat button at the bottom, or maybe you have to scroll over, but you can go ahead and grab that in the chat and fill that out and we will get it to you right away. So my gift to you as a thank you for coming here tonight. All right. Now I want you to raise your hand and let me know if you are familiar with this story. Maybe everything started off great, right? You and your spouse, you were so in love. You had so many big hopes and dreams together, and you felt like you could do anything, right? Even though you knew you weren't perfect, you tended to look at the good in each other instead of dwelling on the bad, right? Remember those early days when you were engaged, dating, early married, and you just saw the best in each other and you were each other's whole world and you were so in love, right? That feeling of head over heels in love, just absolutely celebrating life and celebrating your love together, right? That's how most of us start off in our relationships. You guys agree? We laugh, we flirt, we love being around each other, and things are good, for a while. But then it happens. The communication maybe slows down. Their energy towards you somehow changes. And slowly you feel them pulling away. Or maybe you were even completely blindsided. You thought everything was fine. You didn't know that they were unhappy. And all of a sudden, boom, you found out that they've been having an affair, or you found out that they've been unhappy in their marriage for years, and you feel completely blindsided. So raise your hand if you feel like you have been blindsided in your relationship recently. And that happiness that you once had, yeah, exactly. A lot of you do. That happiness that is replaced then with anxiety, the excitement with fear and with self-doubt. As they stop talking to you about things, tensions start to rise, and sometimes they are even unfaithful, or maybe we are unfaithful, and now we're trying to pick up the pieces and get them to forgive us and trust us again, right? So before you know it, you find yourself overthinking every single thing you say to them, right? I've done this, until eventually the communication just dies completely, or just becomes so volatile you really don't get anywhere. And you're left wishing more than anything that you could somehow find the key that would unlock their interest once again, and unlock their willingness to commit to you again and want to be with you and want to work on things. Does that sound familiar? Am I the only one here that's gone through this? I doubt it. All the points hit the nail on the head. Yeah, you agree. Exactly. Me, agree. Yep. And so that's where a lot of us find ourselves. Yes, nope, hear ya. Awesome. And so it is super unfortunate, but my friends, I want you to know that if your relationship is struggling right now, if your marriage is on the verge of divorce, if your spouse is checked out, if you can't seem to understand each other because there's so much tension, then it's not your fault. Why am I saying that? I really want you to get this, because my friend, it's not your fault. It really isn't. I believe, from everything that I've seen working with tens of thousands of couples now, just like you, just like me, is that society has programmed us to fail. It has. Our society does not support healthy relationships. Our cultures do not support healthy relationships. We aren't taught how to have lasting love. We aren't taught how to have a lasting marriage. We aren't taught how to heal our unhealthy, dysfunctional patterns and replace them with healthier, more functional patterns. Why? Well, it's pretty easy. Okay, trivia time. Let's do some trivia. How many marriages end in divorce? Put it in the chat. First one that answers, get a free call with me. Diego, take note. 52%. Michelle, Jacob, 50%. Okay, Michelle, you got it. Yep, over 50%. And so I'd love to talk to you, Michelle. Now, here's another trivia question. A lot of people know that about 50%, over 50% of couples end in divorce. But of those that stay together, how many do you think report actually being happy in their marriage? Let me know. What do you guys think? 15, 20%, 30%, 87%, 30%, 25%, 10%, 8, 40, 28. Okay, lots of answers all across the board. 35. Thank you guys. The answer is 16%. So what that means is that 8% of marriages are actually happy. That is an astounding number to me. To me, that is a sickening number, because I believe life's too short to spend it in unhappiness. And many times we think that if we just change our partner or make our partner change, that then we will somehow find happiness, only to find that when we change the partner, the same things repeat themselves. Agreed? So what we do here at High Thrive Coaching is we say, change the pattern, not the partner. Divorce the pattern, not the partner, because the patterns continue, and the patterns is where the pain is. I hope that that hits home for you. Okay. Your partner, you may think, is causing you the pain. Your partner may think that you are causing them the pain. It's not either one of you. It is the pattern that you are in. And when you heal the pattern, then everything in the relationship heals as well. And so what my heart and my mission is, and our mission here at High Thrive Coaching is to change this reality in the world. We want to create a new society where healthy marriages are the norm, where unhealthy patterns are healed, and we create a world that our children can grow up in, where marriages last, and they last for life, and they're healthy and they're beautiful. They're not perfect, right? And we learn to navigate through those challenges to have unity. That is our mission. And so more and more people are joining that. And more people have gotten on the boat with us and have sailed from the shore of the norm, where only 8% of couples are happy, to the shore of where we're creating a whole new reality, a whole new way of being. And if you're not on that boat, it means you've missed something along the way. Well, we know with Noah, if you don't get on the boat quickly, it doesn't usually end well for you. The good news is you still have time. So if this speaks to you, I encourage you to get on the boat with us, and let's create a new reality, both for your life, your marriage, your future, your children, and society at large, because we can do amazing things, and we are. And there's people that are doing it, and they're proving it. So it's not your fault. It's the pattern, not you, not your spouse. And when we change the pattern, everything else changes. Okay. So this story is painful. And unfortunately, like we talked about, it's all too common. Society has programmed us to fail. But the good news is that we can learn how to change that. But when someone pulls away or goes cold, it can feel like a mini heartbreak or a full-blown heartbreak altogether, right? It is. It can be absolutely devastating. And so whether you've just started feeling, or the situation maybe has fizzled months ago, sometimes even years ago, I want you to know that the solution remains the same. We divorce the pattern, not the person. Okay. We call it our attraction CPR method. And it consists of 3 simple things that you can do right now to get them trying again. It's the first step in this process, and it will naturally win back their attention so they stop pulling away more. Okay. And if your spouse hasn't hit the pause button yet, then I really want to help you get there. And this is how we're going to do it. All right. If you're further along in this journey and your spouse has hit the pause button, then we go deeper into that with our PATH method. Okay. So CPR is a silly little acronym I came up with. Okay. The C stands for connecting communication. Raise your hand if communication's gone out the window and you would love to know how to get them talking to you again, how to get their attention the right way, how to be able to have hard conversations, how to be able to talk about the marriage without them shutting you down, right? So we've got to start with connective communication. P stands for perspective, and R stands for release pressure. All right, so let's go into connecting communication. So my friends, raise your hand. Let me know in the chat. Do you wish that you could know exactly what's going through their mind right now? What's going through their mind when they start to put in less efforts? What's going through their mind when they start to pull away? You guys are saying, yes, yes, heck yes, oh yes, yes, exactly. Yes, we wish that we could read their mind. I wish that I could just give you a tool and be like, here, you can just read their thoughts. Now you know what's really going on. But the reality is that's impossible. And it's actually not necessary. Okay. What I'm going to do is it going to help you even better than that. Okay. So this is what's commonly going on here, is that your spouse has created a narrative or a story justifying what they are doing or why they want out. And this is the big discovery that we made here at High Thrive Coaching, and literally no one else is even talking about this. This is what is causing the pattern to show up for you both, the pattern that your spouse is in right now. And if we don't change the pattern, then they're going to move further away from you. But when we change the pattern, then we don't have to divorce the person. We can just divorce the old unhealthy pattern. So I would love to know what your spouse's reasons for wanting out are. And the narrative is why they haven't recommitted to the marriage yet. This is what is preventing them from having that attraction and that connection and that commitment with you. Okay. So here are some of the common reasons, and I'm going to sorry, I'm getting a little tongue tied. I'm going to check the chat and see what your spouse's reasons are. Okay. Maybe they think that a divorce separation affair will make them happier. right? We're saying, I'm unhappy and we have tried. There's a lack of trust. I was verbally, mentally abusive to her and the kids. Okay, that's her story. And that's what she is saying. Let me know what else you guys are hearing from your spouse. Lack of trust. She says she doesn't want to stop being unhappy. That's an odd one. Maybe I didn't read that quite right. Yeah, the first option. Okay. Maybe they think that they will feel less pain or less sadness. Maybe they're saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Another reason here is that they feel guilty for what they are doing or what they have done. Maybe they're saying it's about me, not about you. And their narrative helps them feel not so guilty. Okay. It lessens the blame there. Trust. I don't make him happy. Overwhelmed with responsibility, wants to stop being unhappy. Okay. Thank you. Lack of trust, emotionally abusive. Okay. That's what she says. Maybe they're afraid to let go of their self-defense mechanism. And this is really where it is at the core of every single story here. Okay. Maybe they're saying, I see that you're changing, but I don't trust that the changes are real. And if I come back to you, or if I recommit to this, then I'm going to be hurt again. And I don't want to be hurt anymore. So I'm done. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, kind of heard all of those over the past few months. Childhood trauma caused my marriage to fail 1,000%. Okay. I'm a narcissist. Oh yeah, we hear that one sometimes. That one's a big buzzword the past few years. And very few people actually understand what narcissism actually is. She's in an affair, so she can't think clearly. Yes. Okay. Says she was unhappy, created another relationship with some person already, heard it all before, and it's painful to hear. Yeah, exactly. So the narrative, the story that they have is the symptom, but it is what keeps their walls up. And unless we help them let it go, then they will not want to come back to us. Because, my friends, the reality is they created this story about us over the past weeks, months, sometimes years, sometimes even decades. And whether it's true or not, or maybe a little mix of both true and untrue, the reality is that it's true to them. And this is what's justifying them doing what they're doing and preventing them from being hurt again and from pain. And so they've created this pattern and this story to prevent them from feeling that kind of pain. It's a self-defense mechanism. And so unless we help them realize that it's safe to let it go, that they can be, you can give you our heart again, right? They will hold on to that story. That is what we have seen. We can help you get to be open up communication and have respect and even be friends. But unless you change this story at the root level, the pattern will show up again and they will go right back into it. And so what we do is help you help your spouse let that pattern or that story go. Now, most people go about trying to get their spouse's attention in all the wrong ways. So let's go through some of those. And I'll be the first to raise my hand and say I've done almost every single one of these. And if you say, yeah, I've been doing one of them, maybe now you realize that this is why your marriage is where it is right now, because you haven't learned up until now how to do it any different. Again, not your fault. So common mistakes that we see here are demanding that they work on the marriage. You need to go to counseling. You need to end the affair. You need to work on this for me. You need to let this go. You need to forgive me. You need to trust again. You need to change or do something so that I can feel better about the relationship. Does it sound familiar? You need to honor your marriage vows, right? And I get where that's coming from, but at the same time, where does it really lead you, right? That's a very common mistake. Another mistake is manipulation. If you go do that with that person, then I'm going to go do whatever I want with whoever I want. If you divorce me, I'm going to take the kids from you. I'm going to ruin your credit. I'm going to wreck you financially. I'm going to ruin your reputation. We make these manipulation attempts to try to get them back, but it never works. And my friends, even if it did work, is that really what you want your relationship based on? Do you want them to come back based on a manipulation? Is that going to be the healthy foundation that you want to have a lasting relationship? I can promise you it may work in the short term, but it will eventually completely frizzle. Is that the word? It'll fizzle, frizzle, fizzle, frizzle. It'll backfire, right? All right. So the other mistake that we have here is freezing ourselves, withdrawing ourselves, going silent, not knowing what to do. We go into fight, flight, or freeze mode, right? And so now we don't know what to do. Yeah, thank you, Fizzle. I appreciate that. I'll love that to hear that on the replay. I bet my son will make it into some kind of meme. Watch you. He'll do it. All right. Now the other mistake here, begging, pleading, acting out of desperation. Please don't go. Please give me another chance. Please, 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 please. I'm begging you. Right. And what happens when we do any of these things, it gets their attention in the wrong way. It gets their attention and it only pushes your spouse away more. Yeah, it blows up in your face. I'm seeing the comment there. That's so me, the love of my life. I did that in the beginning, done that, and I agree. Yeah, that's what we do. Fear. And so if you are still in a lot of fear and a lot of desperation and a lot of tension, your spouse will feel it and they will pull further away. And it's going to get their attention in the wrong way. Oftentimes, though, you may think that you're doing the right things. You may think, okay, Heather, I haven't really done any of those things. I'm fighting for my marriage. Like I'm doing all the self-improvement. I'm working on myself. I'm sending her text messages and giving her flowers. And I'm sending him pictures of our marriage. And I'm home more and all these other things, right? And you may think that you're doing the right things. And you have no clue that what you're doing is actually backfiring. And I talk to so many of you here on masterclasses, in our Facebook group, on YouTube, in sessions and consultations. And I know how much your marriage means to you. That's why you're here. And it breaks my heart when I hear that you are exhausting yourself trying to do all these things, you know, that your therapist said and the self-help book said and the podcast and the YouTuber and blah, 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 right? And you have no idea that what you're doing is actually completely ineffective or backfiring. So if you haven't gotten on the ship to the happy marriage land that I'm talking about, okay, not perfect land, but happy marriage, then you've missed something along the way. Okay, so it's time that you learn what that is. So here is a story that I want to share about a client. I'm going to Brian. And when Brian came to me, he was saying, Heather, I'm doing everything my therapist said. I'm doing everything this other coaching program said. I am texting her every single day, our marriage vows and how much I love her. And I am going to win this fight, right? And all the while, his wife kept saying, stop texting me. It's over. You should just move on. And stop texting me. I don't like this. And he just kept texting her every single day. And I asked him, I said, Brian, how do you think your wife is responding to your constant texts when she's asked you to stop and when she's not responding well? And his face kind of fell and he said, yeah, probably not very well. And I said, so Brian, what do you think she would think if you stopped texting her? And he thought about it and he said that I'm listening to her and that I'm actually respecting what she wants. And so I said, do you see the difference? The other way of doing things is actually all about you, what you want, that you're going to get her back, that you don't want her leaving and causing you any more pain. And now if you actually honor what she's requesting, it's not about you anymore. You're showing her respect. So he stopped the text messages. He stopped sending her flowers. He stopped trying all these wacky sometimes, but you know, a lot of people do this, things to try to get her back. She noticed and she felt heard and she felt respected and she hit what we call the pause button. So she wasn't running away anymore. So if you feel, yeah, like I was saying over here in the chat, I've been texting daily like Brian here, LOL. And oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Reminding her of vows, working on myself. Yeah, exactly. Still allowed someone else in rather than working on herself to heal. Yeah. So all of these things, you're out of energy for 2 years. You try to do that. The first month you try to do that. Right. And so if you're in pause mode right now, that's awesome, Brian. So we got to keep that going in the right way. So when you do that, it's going to get their attention in the right way instead of the wrong way. So I want you to think about this for a minute. Do an exercise here. Think about what you've been doing the past 2 weeks. How has your spouse been responding to that? Have they been hitting the pause button and no longer pulling further away? Have they been pulling further away? Are they running like a bat out of hell away from you, right? Or are they actually starting to take some steps toward you. And so if they haven't hit the pause button and are starting to take some steps towards you, then we need to get you there. Okay. And so you may think that you're doing the right things, but my friends, sometimes you realize you have no idea that you're doing what you're doing actually or backfiring. Okay. Awesome. How do I get out of this video? It just keeps going. Okay, there we go. So my friends, if you are, and some of you here in the chat are letting me know, you're sending her text messages every day, or him, right? You're trying to listen more. Like, that's a good thing, right? But if that's all, just exhausting yourself, trying to meet their every need, if you're helping more around the house, doing everything you can to show her that you are committed to her and that she can trust you. All of these things may seem like the right things to do, but if your spouse is wanting space, says, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, or that they need to find themselves, to find herself or find himself, then most likely these things are backfiring. Okay. You're probably feeling exhausted, frustrated, and confused at what to do. That's another sign that things are backfiring or ineffective. So raise your hand. Are you feeling exhausted? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling confused because nothing's working? Let me know. Yeah, you've been separated for over 3 years. That is a very long time. Okay. Yep. Waiting to hit the pause button right now. She believes her own lies. Exactly. Try not to go crazy here. Yeah, exactly. So my friends, the beautiful part is that I've seen so many well-meaning husbands and so many well-meaning wives learn how to actually build connection and restore trust with their spouse, all by learning to do what really works. Okay. And that is what I want to help you get to as well. Then that goes to perspective. Okay. So here we strive to understand why our partner is doing what they're doing and communicate that through connective communication. Okay. So as we get their perspective, it can change the way that we are getting their attention and the way that we are communicating. So what we do here, I encourage you to do, is actually get curious. Okay, curious in almost a lighthearted fashion about why they think and feel the way that they do. Start to try to put yourself in their shoes. Start to try to understand what's been going on for them. One of the biggest challenges and mistakes that we make is it's all about us, right? It's all about me. It's all about my pain. It's all about what they've done to me and where I'm coming from. And we don't realize that our spouse is often very much hurting as well. And that their perspective, when we understand what that is, starts to build that bridge of connection. Okay, awesome. Diego just put over in the chat that if you guys want a free consultation with us, go ahead and leave your number. Please include the country code of what country you're calling from, or we can reach you at, so that we don't accidentally get the wrong number. And then we will reach out to you and do a free complimentary marriage analysis. Okay. And I will actually be doing those personally myself. And so go ahead and leave your number over there and I will reach out to you, not tonight because it's too late, but tomorrow I will definitely be reaching out to you. So if you want that, go ahead and leave it over there and I'll make sure that I'm able to help as many people as we can. First come, first serve though. All right, so we get curious about why they think and feel the way they do, and we actually are going to validate them. Validate that this is true for them. That doesn't mean we're saying that what you're doing is okay with me, but what we're saying is, I see that for you, this is how you feel. When you are validated by someone and you feel understood by someone, how do you feel? Awesome. I see country code is 1. US country code is 1. And if you're over in Europe or anywhere else, then it's a different country code. So awesome. So how great does it feel to feel understood, to feel like someone is actually getting where you're coming from, right? So Michelle said, you helped me so much, Heather. I never could have fixed my relationship with my husband without you and Mark. Every now and then we do take a step backwards, and I always come back to both of you and your insight to get me through. Each time it's brought us together. Thank you for always being there and for helping me to see me. Identifying my negatives has helped me fix me and make the wanted changes that have impacted my life and my marriage in a positive way. I'm going to say identifying the patterns there, right? She talks about the negatives as these negative patterns that were keeping her and her husband apart, and really understanding where he was coming from and his perspective, and validating that brings those walls down so that they want to open up. They want to communicate more. They feel heard and respected. Remember, Brian, his wife, did not feel heard and respected with all the positive actions he was taking. It's doing it in the right way that actually makes a difference. So I promised you guys one text that you can send immediately that will guarantee they'll be thinking about you when you're not around. Ready for it? Okay, here it is. It's a formula. I'm not going to give you like exact word by word. I want you to take the principle and apply it to yourself. Here's the formula. Okay. Please do not send this to your spouse with the blanks. That would not be effective. Okay. I'm teasing you a little bit, but it's true. Okay. I love that this says wife, right? Wife. So here's the formula. I understand that you feel blank about blank. Insert your spouse's feelings about something right now. I understand that you about my constant text messages, right? Or whatever it is. And you're sending a text message. That's kind of funny. But I understand that you feel unhappy about our marriage right now. I understand that you feel like that you feel abandoned about the way that I've been going about our relationship, that you feel emotionally unsupported. I understand that you feel connected from me. I understand that you feel like you're done with this right now and that you're frustrated, right? And that must be hard for you. You're validating them. And we do it without any malice, right? We're not putting them down, but we're saying, I understand it must be really hard for you, and doing it in an absolute, genuine, and sincere way. I realize that I contributed to, and then you take ownership for your part in whatever this pattern is that's been created. Because my friends, a pattern, it does involve two people, and we all need to take ownership for what our part is in this pattern. I'm working on myself to become a better person because I want to be respectful. I want to be more compassionate. I want to be more understanding. I want to be, insert whatever blank, right? It feels good to understand where you are coming from. So let me know if I got it right, or let me know if there's something I missed, right? Let me know if that sounds correct, right? And so this is the formula of an incredible way to have connective communication by validation, right? We're validating here, we're understanding them, and we're showing genuine care. Do you also realize that it's going to go to the next part here? There was no pressure. So that brings us to the third part of CPR, which is releasing the pressure. Here is where we want to take the pressure off of you, take the pressure off of them, and take the pressure off of the marriage. Take the pressure off. There is a saying that what you resist persists. There's also a saying that says force negates. It's kind of like two magnets that are facing the wrong way right now. And the more you're trying to force this thing to work, the more you're desperate to try to get them back. And you've got all this pressure on yourself, all this pressure on your wife or husband, and all this pressure on your marriage. It's gonna explode, and it's gonna repel rather than attract. So we need to take the pressure off, okay? Now, I often think of this bit of a cat and mouse game. All right. So I've got this cute little video here. I could probably watch this all day, but the bottom line is that it's a little bit of a cat and mouse thing going on between you and your spouse right now. It's like you are the cat and they're the mouse. They're feeling pursued by you right now. And so what do? They run further away from you. You're like, come back. And the mouse is like, no, I'm leaving. Right. And it's no fun at all. But what happens is that when you take a big step back and take the pressure off, what happens to your spouse? They say, oh, wow, there's something different about Rachel or Mike. There's something different here about Jay or Lance or Philip or Sean or Kathleen. There's something different here about Mo and Daryl. What is it, Nathan and Kevin? Something's different here. They're changing the rules of the game. They're not playing the game anymore. You're not stepping into the same pattern. Okay, the pattern is what we want to divorce, not the partner. So you are changing the pattern. We call it a pattern interrupt. And then the mouse or your spouse, which rhymes, I think that's funny, is going to notice. And they're going to say there's something's different here. What is going on. It will get their attention in the right way. And I love this part of the relationship because the dynamic starts to shift and their attention is now turned on you in a different way. And they feel this release of all this pressure that you've been putting on them. And that, my friends, is the space that they're saying they need. That's the space that they're wanting. They're not actually wanting maybe space. They're wanting a relief of tension and a relief of this pressure that you've been putting on them. And when you give them that relief, they will hit the pause button. They will no longer be running further from you, but they will hit that pause button. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we will go back to the text there, John. If you want to write it down later, you bet. Okay. So here's what happens when you take the pressure off the marriage and off your spouse. It interrupts that pattern. Whoa, patterns changed. And my friends, the pattern's the problem, not you, not your spouse. Blame the pattern, okay? When you change that pattern, it's going to get their attention the right way. So they're going to say, whoa, something's different here. They're not playing by the game that we usually play with. Why? And then it creates so they can start to take some steps towards you. That is what we help you do. And we guide you step by step on exactly how to do that. And I know, John and some of you are like, I got to make sure I send the right text message. I got to make sure I say this right. We help you with exactly how to craft text messages and what to say and what to do. Also happens here, my friends, and this is the bigger picture that I hope you can see here. When you take the pressure off yourself and off the marriage and off your spouse, you are going to feel so much better. You really are. All of that tension, that overwhelm, that confusion, that frustration, that anger, that pain is going to be relieved in a large amount, okay? Which allows you to step into a calmness, a centeredness, a state of empowerment. You learn to process through emotions rather than be ruled by them or just react out of them, just lash out of your emotions, whether they be fear, pain, anger, agony, betrayal, right? So instead of reacting, you're actually going to learn how to process through those emotions, find healthy ways to feel all of your emotions. I am very against the idea that you should just have a happy, positive mindset. That's not human. It's not real. We're humans, okay? We feel things. We feel anger, we feel pain, we feel rage, we feel sadness, we feel joy, we feel elation, we feel gratitude, we feel regret. We feel. Why? Because it's a guidance system to help us see if we're on track to who we're really meant to be, or if we've gotten a little bit lost. Emotions don't serve us when we choose to stay stuck in them and when we choose to let them rule us and we don't learn, why is this actually showing up for me? And so that is my daily practice. I teach you how to process through your emotions so you can get to a calm, centered, empowered state. If that feels very foreign to you, I promise it's within you. And when you get there, you will be so grateful that you did. And it will be worth every effort that you made so that you can learn that no matter what happens outside of me, no matter what my spouse does, my kids do, the world does, the politicians do, whatever, I'm okay. Because I know that I'm going to be okay no matter what happens. And when you make that kind of a shift inside of yourself, you reclaim your power. Right now, you may be giving away all your power to everyone else and everything else, and you may be feeling sucked dry and full of fear and anxiety. But I promise that it is within you. And we just need to help you connect with that deeper inner part of your own soul. I know that sounds deep, but that is the work that this is about. Okay. So in our coaching program, I teach you that daily tool for calming the negative thought patterns. Remember, the pattern is the problem. It's not you. And the pattern itself is not you. And the self-doubt and the fear and the pain and the anger and the uncertainty, all of those things, they're not you. And that makes us self-sabotage when we're acting from that kind of a place and behave in low value ways. And that is what drives someone else away. And it also leads you to feeling very unhappy and unfulfilled and very lost in your own life. And so many people are in that kind of a place. And I was in that kind of a place too myself 8 years ago before I learned the truth of who I am and the truth of who we all are, that we are good enough, that you are deserving, that you are capable, that you are intelligent, that you are a piece of the divine. That is the truth of who you are. All right. Rion Smith says, I found high thrive at a point in myself when I had lost myself, just like we were talking about, right? I was dealing with stress and pressure from family, and years of difficulties had done damage to my life and my marriage. High Thrive courses, so she joined some of our courses, Relationship Reboot and Path, boot camps and coaching helped me immeasurably. The most tangible impacts were personal insight into my life, which I felt so disconnected from. Taking charge of my own value and desires, which I had also lost. Really focusing on living my life by design, on purpose, rather than just bumbling along. Now, life still has its challenges. I'm not promising you that life's not going to have its challenges, right? It still has its challenges, but I feel like I am solid. I am the solid ground I was looking for. My marriage is in the best place it's ever been. And I am more happy and happy with who I am than I have been in years. Thank you so much for all you do and all you continue to do. Hit the nail on the head again. Just take the chill pill. Awesome. Yes. So the result here, my friends, you feel lighter, you feel happier, you feel freer and okay, no matter what happens. And to me, that's worth everything, because I cannot control what anyone else does or what anything else happens in this world. And there's a lot of messed up stuff that's going on. But guess what? Not only do I feel centered and calm and more empowered in my own being, but it's also a very attractive place to be, right? It's attractive to your spouse. When you come from a place of no pressure and centeredness and empowerment, that is a very attractive person. We like to be around people that are very calm and very centered and very confident and that are willing to embrace the challenges of life rather than be a victim to them. And so that is not only going to feel better to you, it's also going to be really deliciously attractive to your spouse. Okay. So my friends, this is just the beginning. So attraction CPR is going to help you get the heart of your relationship started pumping again. CPR for a reason, right? Go with me on the analogy. But there's more to fully restoring a relationship. If your spouse has already hit the pause button, but they're not fully committed to you again, that's why we have step 2, 3, and 4 of our PATH method. Getting their attention in the right way is the very first step of this process. And if you haven't gotten there yet, I want to make sure that you are able to get there. And if you have hit the pause button, I want to make sure that they commit their heart and they give you their heart and their soul fully again. All right. So we didn't get to cover how to restore trust really when it's been broken, even from affairs. You guys talked about this, multiple affairs. But if you've been going about this with so much fear, so much pain, so much desperation, then we definitely need to shift the way that you're getting their attention and do it in a way that's actually going to create a safety between you so that they want to open up, that they want to heal, and that they feel safe enough to let this go and to restore and heal trust with you again. And we're often able to help you if your spouse is having an affair, end that affair in 3 weeks or less. That's what we do. And then from there, restore the relationship, which does take time, but it takes way less time than most people realize when you do it the right way. How to help them let go of the narrative about you fully, and how to overcome the friends stage. But I'm not in love with you. Now, the meaning behind that, to know if it's actually true, is that it's almost never true. It's almost always just a surface level excuse of why they want out. It's a way of saying, I know that this is hurting you and I don't really want to hurt you. So I'm going to say, I just don't really love you anymore. I don't have that passion or that connection. Just do this to get their attention in the right way. You can help them open up their heart again and build that delicious, fun, passionate romance between you two as well. And we help so many couples get there. So we cover all of that in our PATH coaching program. Yeah, let you know exactly. So would you guys like to learn more? Let me know in the chat. Has this been helpful? What stood out to you so far? And would you like to learn more about the steps 2, steps 3, steps 4 of our PATH process to help you go from where you are right now to where you really want to be in your marriage 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now? How would you like to look back on this time in your life? And this may be the most hellish, circumstance that you've ever gone through. This may be the most hellish time of your entire life. And it may be more than you feel like you can bear. It may be pushing you so far outside of your limits. And do you want to look back at this time and say, I didn't do it. I didn't change the pattern. Maybe I tried to change the person. I didn't even change the pattern. And it continued to happen over and over again. Or do you want to look back with peace, knowing that you gave your marriage everything that you could, and that no matter what happens, you knew it was okay. And you can live with that peace, have no regrets. You cannot always control the person. We cannot always control the outcome, but what you can absolutely do is control yourself and change the patterns that are going on inside of you. And when you change those patterns, everything else starts to change as well. All right, awesome. You're saying yes, you want to learn more. Yes, very helpful. Awesome. Cool. All right, then I will share it with you. And I see some of your numbers coming in. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So would you like to see how we help our clients go from a distant, a cold, or checked out spouse to being happy together in 6 months or less? You guys want that? Let me know. You're saying yes. I just want to make sure. Awesome. Heck yes, 100%. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, sweet. I hear you. I'm watching you. Of course. Yes, yes. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to share with you our Gold Path Marriage Coaching Program. All right. And it's all the steps that we just talked about in their full detail. Okay. Let me make this bigger. So what is this? This work with you in our full path program to guide you on how to get your spouse's attention in the right way, how to stop doing what may be backfiring right now or what is not effective. Remember, if your spouse hasn't hit the pause button yet, you've missed something along the way. If your spouse hasn't given you their heart fully again, you've way. The good news is we will guide you through this process and help you get there. Okay. So the bad news is, unfortunately, we are a very small coaching company and we are only taking on a few clients right now. So we have only 6 spots open right now here in February, and over 150 people will probably see the masterclass this week. So if this speaks to you, I do encourage you to act quickly and to join and to raise your hand and let me know so that we can get you one of the spots. Because when they're full, then we have to put you on a waiting list, which is less than ideal. So it's Mark and I, and we have 2 other coaches that work with us. And so we do limit the number of clients that we take on to make sure that we give you everything that you need so that you succeed. All right. So this is our proven path process to save your marriage in less than 6 months without getting your heart hurt. It's all the steps needed to go from where you are to where you really want to be in your marriage so that you can look back and you don't pain of regret. So I'm going to be fully transparent here. I believe in absolute integrity. I believe in giving you all the information that you need. And your job is to ask me whatever questions you have, because your life matters and your future matters and this relationship matters. Okay. So full transparency, I will answer any question that you have. Here's the first question right off the bat, full transparency. This is a $4,200 4-month coaching program. So this also includes these bonuses for those who sign up for this Path Marriage Coaching Program today. And they are only offered to you for joining the masterclass. They're never for sale or available anywhere else other than through this program. Sometimes I have people that don't believe me. I don't know why, but maybe they got to go check it out themselves. And I had someone on a masterclass go and they're like, Heather, this isn't on your website. Like this offer isn't there. I'm like, I know. I just told you it's not. Like it's only for you guys as a thank you for coming to our masterclass. We found that you guys are our best students. And we like to reward you for being an action taker. Okay. So yeah, you're only going to find it right here, right now. Just want to make sure that that's really, really clear. Okay. So bonus number 1 is our fast track one-on-one coaching to save your marriage in less than 180 days. What is this? This is where you have 4 1 a month with one of us marriage coaching experts for 10 times faster results than if you try to go it alone or do therapy. Okay. And so that in of itself is a $4,800 value. And you get that as a bonus for joining today. This is for those that maybe you've struggled to stick with things in the past, your spouse is completely checked out, unwilling to work with you, or you're just unsure if it's going to work. And what we do is we take all the guesswork out of it So you literally just do what we tell you to do, and you have absolute confidence in yourself. All right, then you can be like Monica there, the client that I shared, or like Brian, and you can see that where you're at right now and where you really need to go, how to get their attention in the right way, how to craft that text message, how to have that in-person conversation, how you may unintentionally be pushing them further away, and what you need to do now to validate them, to increase the understanding, to take the pressure off. That CPR method, right? So you get feedback from us on how you're doing with the path process, and we give you clarity and direction on how to make course corrections to get to the result that you really want, how to stop pushing your spouse away further, how to open up communication, how to have them actually want to spend time with you. The best part is, my friends, you can really truly just relax, and you can take that off. And when that pressure's off, it feels like a massive weight has just been lifted off your shoulders. And you can know that everything is going to be okay, that you are going to be okay, no matter what happens. All right. And we guide you through each and every one of those steps. Have your spouse hit oh my goodness, I was about to say the SPAS button. Your spouse hit the pause button, how to take some steps towards you, how to build some deeper levels of connection, and then how to get their commitment again in the relationship, and how to establish healthy boundaries if trust has been broken. Every single milestone along the way through that process. All right, so that is bonus number 1. I'm going to actually skip our testimonial here for the sake of time, but we have so many and they are awesome. So our second bonus is our 1 hour to restore trust group coaching. And that's a $1,600 value for free for joining today. This is a 1 hour group coaching session, and it fits your schedule. We are an international marriage coaching company, so it's not uncommon for us to have a lot of clients in the US and Canada, but also UK, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. And so we make sure that we have a variety of times that fit your schedule, that fit all different time zones and needs there. And what this means is that you can not only have a one-on-one coaching session every week, but you actually get on 2 sessions, the one-on-one and a group session. And that helps you get additional clarity on direction on how to apply the path process, what you're working on that week, how to respond to text messages that you may have gotten, how to have hard conversations, how to get to the next milestone with your spouse. All right. What I really love about the group coaching is that you get to learn from people who've gone through this process, like Monica, like Brian, like Leah, like Tim. I mean, I could go on and on and on. We have, thousands and thousands of couples that we've helped now, and they come on these coaching sessions and you get to learn from them. And they say, oh my goodness, Sean and Jim and Kevin and Corny and Rick and Rachel and Mike and Brian and Lance. And I could go on and on, right? So many of you guys here. I was where you are. I was where you are. My spouse was doing the same thing. They were saying the same thing. Keep going. Trust the process. Know that it is going to work. And then in several weeks from now, several months from now, you will be the senior student, and you will have the opportunity, if you want, to encourage other people that are going through the same hell that you just went through. What a beautiful way to give back. For me personally, I believe that my life challenges come so that I can be able to help other people that are maybe going through the same crappy stuff that I went through, that maybe I can shine a bit of a light or ease their burdens in some way and help give them hope that it's going to be okay and that they can do this. And what a beautiful way to be able to give back. And so you have the opportunity to do that if you want to. And I think it's beautiful. And so many people do, and it's awesome. So here's Alex. So he started working on personal development and really getting back to work. I became self-reliant, strengthened my relationship with my kids, and started getting back to business. That being said, my wife and I had a long conversation, and she wants to start moving back in and reconciling. They had been separated for a good amount of time. You can see here, my wife moved out last April, and this was now in September. For the first time in a long time, I feel like we may work it out, be a family again. I made it this far. Thanks for letting me share my wins. All right. So that's bonus 2 is our group coaching. Bonus 3 is a rocket reconnection training for 2 times faster results in 30 minutes or less. That's a $588 value for free. I love this training. What it is that Marc and we've distilled over 100,000 hours of trainings, okay, into 3 30-minute power-packed videos to give you the best, the fastest methods to reconnect with your spouse. And what I love about this is that you can target any specific issue that you have with your spouse right now, such as, a lot of you said this, how to end an affair in 3 weeks or less, how to open up any kind of conversation, how to forgive and heal past pain, how to deal with addictions, alcoholism, narcissism, right? Midlife crises and mental health challenges, anxiety and depression, right? So you can just look for exactly the topic that you are wanting help with the issue that you're dealing with. And within just a click of a button, you'll have the answer that you need. You don't have to sift through hours of training videos. You get the solutions that you need easily and immediately. And what I love about this is that you'll be amazed that problems that once maybe took weeks or months or years to resolve will be resolved quickly. And we have enough stats here, enough data to have some stats that 95% of our students report 2 times faster results with this unique training, and we only offer it through this program. All right, awesome. Nicole says, when Memorial Day weekend, my husband told me he was done and I could not change anything. Sound familiar? 99, I'm getting tongue tied again. 90% of our clients start in that kind of place. Through trusting God's will and word and help from High Thrive coaches and training, we spent New Year's Eve together. He asked me out, went with friends and had a great time. He paid attention to me throughout the evening. She says, this is new, and laughed with me. New. We still have lots to work on and the divorce papers still linger, but I think this is a win and believe our marriage is being restored beyond where it's ever been. And so as you can tell here, she's right where you guys are with needing to get her spouse's, her husband's attention in the right way. And it feels new. What is she doing here? You guys are A+ students, right? Let me know. What is she doing here? What do you think is going on? Say it back to me. I want to see what you've learned today. Why do you think her husband is now paying attention to her throughout the evening? Why is he laughing with her? Why is he taking some steps towards her now? I want to hear your answers. I can wait for it. Put them in the chat so I can see. She took the pressure off. She changed the pattern. Exactly. Both of those things is exactly what she did. She took the pressure off and she changed the pattern, which got her husband's attention in the right way. And she's right. They still do have work to do, right? Obviously, it's just the very beginning stage. We still have stage 2, 3, and 4 to go through, but it works when you do it the right way. Thank you guys. Awesome. So in addition to those 3 awesome bonuses, I have 2 extra bonuses as well. Okay. So if you join today, I will add 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls that normally cost $600 for free. And I'll do that because, again, I want to reward you for being an action taker. You guys decide where you want to go. And I can promise you the most important thing that you need right now is a decision of where you want to go and a commitment to get there. I can't do that for you. But if you have the decision of this is where I want to go, this is the kind of relationship that I want to experience in my life, and I'm committed to get there, then the way will make itself manifest. That may be working through us. It may be something completely different. And it doesn't really matter to me. What I promise you though, is when you hold fast to where you want to go, the way will manifest itself. So what is an SOS session? It is a session that you can claim with your coach if something unexpected happens. Here's a secret. Something unexpected always happens. Okay, it does. Something unexpected always happens. It wouldn't be any kind of a journey if something completely unexpected happens. And when it happens, you can get support right away. We're in the trenches with you every single day. Okay, you'll never feel alone or lost or overwhelmed. Unexpected things suddenly happens. Maybe your spouse confesses that yes, they have had an affair, or maybe they say, I'm done, I'm moving to Bermuda, right? You don't know. So when that happens, you will have immediate help to overcome those challenges. So you don't get stuck in them. So many of us get stuck in these challenges and we stay stuck in them for so long. doesn't have to be that way. We can move past them quickly. And so again, issues that took weeks or months or sometimes years are resolved and overcome in just a couple of hours. That's what happens when you have the right method and the right support. I just got an SOS call a few weeks ago with my client who was suspecting his wife of cheating. He said, I was in her truck and she had a mask, right? We still have COVID stuff going on, right? And it smells like cologne. And I've been wondering if she's been with her coworker because she likes to go out with drinks for him, go out to drinks with him. And he said, what do I do? He's like, I wanted to go just like accuse her right now, right? He was acting out of fear, immediate reaction. And so we said, okay, get on an SOS call with me. Let's work through this. And within just a couple of hours, a situation that could have completely derailed them, completely obliterated all the progress that he made if he approached it in the wrong way, we were able to resolve it in just a couple hours. And we found out that it was her nephew's mask that she brings to school in the morning. He's a teenager at high school, and it was his mask. And an issue that could have totally blown up and be completely mismanaged and gone right back into unhealthy patterns. We were able to pattern interrupt. And actually, it was a really connecting kind of situation where she understood how hard this has really been for him and how he has been, struggling with this, to relieve so much of that tension and that fear and that wondering if she was having an affair in him. So they're able to move past that situation quickly. So that's an example of the SOS call. Okay. Again, I'm going to skip that client testimonial, but my final bonus for you guys tonight is I have 3 tickets left to our $3,000 2-day unified marriage virtual event. And that helps couples that are fully reconciled get to the next level of intimacy, connection, and happiness. We just did one in December and we have another one coming up soon. So if you buy this program, you can get one of the last 3 tickets that I have because we only have 3 spots open. We just open up these last 3 right now for you guys. And it's for when you and your spouse are on the marriage. So it's not gonna be right now, but future pace this with me. You join, you help your spouse hit the pause button. They take some steps towards you. You build that connection again, and then you get their commitment. At that point, now you have the opportunity to come to this event and work on your marriage together to get to the next level. We're talking like the 8% people, right? The ship over there to create a different reality than the one most of the world's living in, right? And ensure that your relationship stays strong long-term. And that is valid for 12 months. We do these periodically throughout the year, and you'll have the opportunity to use them just as soon as you and your spouse are reconciled and both committed to working on the marriage together. Okay. It's going to be super awesome. And I can't wait to see you guys in the summit. So to recap, for joining today, you get the Path Marriage Coaching Program, which is $4,200, plus these bonuses that are never for sale or available anywhere else other than through this program. The one-on-one coaching to save your marriage in less than 6 months, $4,800 value. The marriage healing group coaching, $1,600 value. The Rocket Reconnection training, $588 value. And these 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls normally cost $600 for free. And the first 3 who join will get a ticket valued at $3,000 to our 2-day unified marriage virtual event. Again, it was amazing. So all in all, $14,788, but you can join for the next you can join in the next 24 hours for only $4,200. Hopefully I said that right. Let me say it one more time. The next 24 hours for $4,200. Okay, so I'm going to post this link over in the chat, and I'm going to go with you guys over to this page because I can see some of you are like, oh my goodness, I so want in. And I'm going to post this over here, and you guys can click that link. And if you want in, you can join it right away. Again, remember, we are capping it at 6 spots for this coaching program. So there is the link over in the chat, highthrivelivecoaching.com/join-gold. Okay. And you will see the exact same page that I'm seeing right now, which is everything that we just talked about. $4,200 for the 4-month program. And right here, you can click to join right now. And some of the top questions that I get are, do you offer a payment plan? The answer is yes. We can break it down into 4 monthly payments. If that works better for you, then let us know. So my friends, I know you had a lot of questions for me. Go ahead and ask them, because if you don't ask, then the answer is always no, right? If you don't ask, then you're stuck never knowing. And is that where you really want to be? No, I'm here to help you and answer any questions that you have. Questions about the program itself, questions about how it works, questions about your marriage. Is this right for you? What's going on in your situation? How would handle this kind of thing? How would coaching serve you in this? Let me know. I will be watching the chat. If I missed any questions, let me know as well. All right. Someone said they can't use the chat, but I got your Q&A. So not sure why you can't use the chat, but if you put it in the Q&A section, I obviously got that. So let me know. Any questions about that as well? All right, I see a lot of you guys put your number over in the chat as well. So I'll be following up with you guys and talk to you tomorrow. Awesome. Yep, I will reach out to you guys tomorrow if you gave your number over there. So make sure you answer it's just a normal phone number here, so there won't be any extra charges or anything like that. It's my personal cell phone, so please don't give it out. But yeah, excited. Awesome. Thank you. Courtney got that. Thank you. Please include the country code if you don't mind, so I make sure that I don't miss you. If you are international, especially, then that would be helpful for me to be able to reach you over there. So how do you handle it when you suspect your spouse is in an affair? All right, Nathan. So yeah, I just kind of talked about that with one of my clients that I just got on the SOS call. He was suspecting his wife of having an affair, and it was eating at him for years. Kept wondering, is she, with this coworker? She spends a lot of time with them. She likes to go out to drinks with them. I'm seeing some kind of weird behavior that isn't really matching up. And what we really came down to is that is the symptom, right? And underneath it is a pattern, a very nasty pattern, but it goes on, right? We get these little bits of fear and doubt that just eat at us. And then we start to feel skeptical, or we start to worry about things. And that only adds to more of our fear. And then maybe, I don't know, let me know, have you asked your spouse if she is having one? Have you made any accusations, or is it just going on inside your own head up until this point, right? And so one of the really important things is that we make sure we handle this in the right way, because the pattern can be very dysfunctional and cause a lot of tension and a lot of fear. And if you react out of that state of fear, you know what it's going to do. It's not going to lead to a great outcome. I'm not saying don't feel the fear, but get to a place that you can then process through that fear and actually address the issue. Because the issue isn't if she's having an affair or not. The issue is the pattern of you wondering if she's having an affair, or the pattern if she actually is having an affair. There's an underlying pattern that's causing you both to do what you're doing, and the story about why she's doing what she's doing. And so there's a way that we can go about having that conversation that it can actually connect you together rather than pull you further apart. Most people, when they worry that their spouse is having an affair, what do? They go into hypervigilance, hyper checking up on them, into fear, accusations, into blame, sometimes even stalking them, finding out where their phone is, tracking their phone, listening to phone calls or text messages, and trying to be like this super sleuth detective, which never feels secure, right? To try to catch them in something. And when you're in that kind of state, it's only going to create more tension between you, and it's going to cause you both to pull further away from each other. And so what we want to do is, like right now, you're probably feeling like you're magnets that are repelling each other. And so what we want to do is turn those magnets facing each other and can actually be drawn back together again, and how to have the conversations with your wife to see what's really going on there, and to uncover the pattern that's causing this fear and this doubt about her faithfulness. And if it comes out that she actually has had an affair, then again, what is the pattern that has caused that to happen for both of you? And when we change the pattern, change the entire relationship. Does that make sense? Awesome. Let me know if I answered that, Nathan, but that would be the first steps, is understanding what the pattern is. And I often like to say it this way, like, you cannot read the label when you're inside the bottle. So we're all inside the bottle of our own marriage, and we simply cannot see what's really going on there. We only see the symptoms, which then cause us usually to react emotionally, and only creates more chaos and more unhealthy patterns. And then we are left feeling really frustrated. Meanwhile, our relationship completely crumbles. That's the norm. That's what our society does. You see it in Hollywood, you see it in the politicians, you see it everywhere. And if you don't want that to be your norm anymore, then get an expert that knows how to read the label on your bottle and say, okay, this is actually what's going on here. This is what's caused that pattern to appear. And the problem isn't you and it's not your spouse, it's this pattern. Let's change this pattern. And then everything between you is going to change as well. And we'll diagnose exactly what's going on there and prescribe the right treatment to navigate that successfully. Does that make sense? Okay. I like this question a lot from my UK friend. Do I get my wife involved with this coaching as well, or do I do it alone? Does she need to know? Okay, so I'm going to address the first question that you have. Do I get my wife involved with this coaching as well, or do I do it alone? So 90% of our clients start alone because usually their spouse is unwilling to do it, and trying to push them to do it is only going to do what? Push them further away, which is not what we are about. We won't do anything that moves you and your spouse further apart, ever. We never want to come between you and your spouse and make things worse. So most of our clients start alone. Even some clients that their spouse is willing to work with them on it still want to start alone because you want to uncover what your pattern is first. And then when you're in a healthy, secure, empowered state, then it makes the rest of it go that much smoother. So what we typically is start you alone, because your spouse is usually not in a place that they're going to want to or be willing to do it with you. And again, pushing to do it is probably going to backfire. But like my partner, Marc Johnston, said in our podcast on Tuesday, is that now about 50% of his client load, because they've been in the program for a while, their spouse is doing it with them now. Not because only 50% of couples get there, but that's just where right now. The newer clients have just joined, and now those other clients have been in for a while. And so we do get you, most of you guys, to a place where, I'm not gonna say 100% of you, but a lot of our clients get to the place where their spouse does it with them. Okay. And so then that is really fun. And that's when we move on to the higher stages, like stage 3 and stage 4. Does that make sense? Does she need to know? Now that's a good question. Does she need to know? If you're doing it in a way that could be secretive, or, it's going to cause any financial stress between you because you just went ahead and did this and it's going to cause them to maybe freak out, then we definitely don't want to go about it in that way. Okay. So we definitely want to have transparency with our spouse, and typically a conversation about, hey, I'm doing this for myself. Like, I'm doing this because I want to become a better person. Can you support me in that? And we can guide you and coach you on how to have that conversation so that it doesn't backfire. Okay. All right. Yeah, exactly. The program is personal, but if you want to have some couple one-on-one sessions, your coach can. Being separated 3 years, do I have a chance to pull my marriage back? So my question for you there, and I understand that's really challenging, is how often do you communicate? I will not allow anyone to join this program if I do not see that this is going to work out, likely to work out. Okay. And so if it doesn't seem probable, then I will let you know. And I will say, I'm sorry, but this is not going to be something that can be saved right now with us. Okay. That doesn't mean to say that there couldn't be an opportunity at another time, but I want to know how much you're actually communicating. So if anyone else has that same question, let me know, how much are you communicating right now? Are you communicating at least several times a month? If you aren't communicating at all, if it's been over a year since you saw each other, or a year since you were in contact or communicating, then that would be a situation that we would not be able to work on with you, because the likelihood of turning it around at this point is very, very slim. You have to be communicating at least a few times a month in order for this to work. Okay. You're co-parenting your 2 kids. Okay, awesome. So if you're co-parenting your kids, I'm assuming that you're talking a lot about the kids, that you do interact, that you do see each other. And there's a reason why they haven't gotten completely out of the marriage now, even though it's been 3 years. That's a long time to be in separation. Okay. But there's something there because they haven't fully said no. You do have these children are communicating. So even if it's about children or about surface level type of things, then there is opportunity to do exactly what Monica did and start to get your spouse's attention in the right way. and how to build communication that's going to invite more communication. Again, taking the pressure off, increasing your understanding, validating them, doing all of those things that's going to get them to hit the pause button and then start to take some steps towards you. Yeah, exactly. Communicating with kids, nothing on personal terms. Right. And so we can help you with those things that are showing increased levels of understanding, I need a drink, increased levels of empathy, increased levels of validation that are going to help her see, oh, wow, there's something different here about him. What is it? I'm curious to know what it is. He's not following the rules of the game anymore. He's changed the engagement here. He's changed the game. What is going on? And at first they're going to be a little confused, and then they're going to be curious. And then they're going to be like, oh, maybe what I thought about him isn't necessarily true. And they're going to start to question the narrative that they have about you. That's when you enter that stage 2 there, which is like teeter-totter effect, the roller coaster. It's like they're hot and then they're cold. They're warm and then they're not. They're in and then they're out, right? And that's what's going on there, is they're starting to question the narrative about you. And then in stage 3, they're feeling really good and really secure with you and able to talk about anything again. You've reduced a lot of the tension, and a lot of those past patterns have been really, really healed. But there's that final bit of resistance that they're holding on to that they need to let go of, so that they then can let the story go fully. And when they let the story go fully about you, they give you their heart again. And that's when we move to step 4, which is getting their commitment. And that's when you get to get on the boat to happy land of only 8% of couples that are living. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I know. I need a drink. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Okay. An affair with multiple people. Yeah, we have seen that. Excuse me. We have seen multiple affairs, sex addiction, all different kinds of situations. And the bottom line is that there's a reason that's driving them to seek to get needs and things met outside of the relationship. And we need to go deeper into what's going on there. And sometimes there may be a mental or emotional condition that's happening. And so we need to uncover if there's anything like that going on, because sometimes there's an underlying thing going on like that, but we can guide you on how to understand if that's what's occurring or not. And if it's an affair with multiple people, then there's definitely a reason why they're seeking to get needs met, and some story that they've built up about that, and a very, dysfunctional pattern going on there. You're willing to work on it, then we can absolutely, we've seen that situation turn around as well. So yes, sorry. Oh, here's a little bit more, I think, from the same. Yep, here we go. But your spouse says they're done. They say that they're only in this situation because of you and your decisions, that they didn't do anything, all your fault. Yes, exactly. That's a very strong narrative, and it's blaming and deflecting. And it's saying that I'm having these multiple affairs because of what you did. And there's nothing that you can do to make me want to work on this because it's all your fault. And I'm not to blame here at all. And so they've got a very strong narrative going on that's saying it's all your fault. I'm not willing to look at myself. And that's a way for them not to feel so much guilt about what they're doing. And that's a very common thing that we see. And it's a way to deflect the pain of what they're doing and their poor, low level type of choices upon you. And so what we need to do is get that turned around in the right way. Congratulations. We just had a couple people join the gold package. So that's awesome. Super excited to have you in the program and excited to see you in the summit. Woo! High Thrive. That's what I like to say. High Thrive. That's my company. So High Thrive. All right. Awesome. Yep. 7 conversation starters will be sent to you in an email or text. Awesome. Congratulations. Yes, to your Gmail. If you fill out the form, that is where you'll get it. And we will also be sending the replay tomorrow. So my friends, as we conclude here, I want you all to take a deep breath. Okay. I want you to go back. If this is still, sinking in here, it's kind of like drinking water from a fire hose. I want you to listen again. I want you to think about what you may have been doing up until this point. If you haven't had the results that you want, why? And if you keep doing the same things, is that really going to get you where you want to be? So again, the most important thing that you can do for yourself, for your happiness, for your future, for this beautiful, precious life that you've been given, for your family, for your spouse, for your future generations to come. Think about who you really want to be. Where do you really want to go? Choose your destination, commit to getting there. And I can promise you that the way will manifest. You choose and you decide where you want to go. And I cannot wait to see your marriage thrive. I cannot wait to hear from all those program and those that, maybe, don't want to join the program. That's totally okay. But I cannot wait to hear how your marriage turned around and where you are now, that you changed these patterns. Remember, divorce the pattern, not the person. When you divorce the pattern, everything is going to change for you. So thank you so much for joining today. I'm so excited. This is your final chance to leave your number. I will be reaching out to everyone tomorrow because I'm a baby and I go to bed early because I've got 8 kids. And so I'm not going to be calling you tonight, but I will call you tomorrow. Okay. So if you didn't leave your number over there, this is your final opportunity to do so. So thank you all so much for joining me today. You are incredible. I honor you. And I send my heart, my love, and my appreciation to you and to your family. Thank you guys for joining, and you guys have a great night.